So I'm gonna hit transition in 5, 4, 3.
And as promised, what did I say? We will be coming up soon with Into the Jungle, ran by frozenflygone. And here we are. We are ready for the run. So go ahead and take it away, Frozen.
Thank you so much, Conception. Hello, everyone. My name is frozenflygone. I am a Celeste speedrunner, and here we have one of my favorite Celeste custom maps, Into the Jungle. And alongside me, I have Comet, another amazing speedrunner of Celeste. Hi, Comet. How's it going?
Hi, how's it going? I'm Comet. I also speedrun this game. I mainly speedrun in the main categories, but I've played this a little bit too.
Awesome. So yeah, Into the Jungle is an amazing custom map. Has a lot of like chocolate entities, as we like to call them, custom mechanics. And so super excited to get into the run. We'll jump in because we got a little bit of time in the prologue to jump around and explain things. So if we can get some Bergie in the chat, you know, and then we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, and go. So you can see there's like a little custom mountain, which is really cool. And we're playing as Catalin, thanks to your donations. If you would like to see Bunnelin at any time, feel free to get your donations in, because I can swap between them pretty easily during the run. I'll just have the host cut in and tell me. And so during the prologue, just like in the vanilla prologue, I can't dash, so you're going to see me hopping all over the place because it saves time. But you can start to see, we've got the credits of everyone who worked on this project. It was a really big project in the Celeste community, really impressive. And the amazing, like, pixel work and sprite work you can start to see already just in the prologue. It's really gorgeous.
I hate to do it, but I got to interrupt right away to say we have an anonymous $10 donation saying, Bunnelin, please and thank you. So give it that swap for us.
All right, easy peasy. As you can see, quite easy to do, and now we got bunny ears. So if you want to make me swap back and forth, I will not be upset because everything goes to charity. So I really love all the different packs that we have, the customization skins. There's even a Kirby skin now, which is pretty amazing. You should definitely check them out if you have Celeste on PC. They're awesome.
I wonder when there will be a Bergie skin.
Bergie skin, I need it. So now we got vines. As you can see, I kind of fell down on the vine. So vines are kind of peculiar in that you can hold grab and climb up them. They're a little bit finicky. They're definitely something I had to get used to when I was speedrunning this, but you can kind of like jump through them and they take you up and down. They're one of the first custom mechanics we see in this. We're going to skip the cutscene here and head on into the first chapter. The music in this is just really amazing, and the sprite work is as well. So now we're going to start to go fast with these jungle mechanics. We got these lizard friends. The green lizard friends don't hurt us, so you can go straight through them.
Yeah, and Frozen did mention the vines, but they do look different every once in a while. Like sometimes, like these ones here are more like ropes. Sometimes they are more like vines. And even the trees here, they're like big foreground trees that you can see that are sometimes in here, like this one coming up. And
Yeah.
And that one you can also climb on just like vines, like you can jump through them and everything.
Yeah, and now we've got these little piranha plants, and you can
Yeah,
jump
I
on
love
them
these.
and get your dash back. They're really cute. They can hurt you though.
Yeah, they do bite. See their big teeth.
Yeah. I really love the like custom enemies in this game. They're super cute. And also the custom spinners. You can see the plants that have the purple outlines. Those are like, you know, the classic spikes that you see in the vanilla game. The respriting is really well done on that. So Verdant Trail is just kind of an introduction to the whole vine concept, the different enemies that you'll be seeing. It's, you know, pretty much just trying to optimize our movement throughout here as much as possible.
One thing that I think is actually worth noting, just because it's really cool, is the custom death wipes. Not many maps use these, but
Yeah.
there's custom ones for every level in this map, and they all look super cool.
They're awesome. Here we're doing a nice little wall bounce underneath. There's a lot of really awesome speed strats in this pack, which is one of the reasons why, you know, I picked it up as a speed game. There's a lot of people like, you know, Comet, Ben, and KO, and Dom have been amazing in routing out different strats for all these levels, so definitely want to shout them out because it made getting into this speedrun really accessible. I'm not a kind of person who like routes speed strats. And so I was able to pick this up because there's a lot of really talented runners before me who kind of went through and, you know, labbed this map pack out. This room's tricky. What I'm trying to do is like land on this tiny piece of, and then go up here. There we go. And what I'm actually going to do is kind of abuse a death warp situation, kind of like Bub's drop. I'm going to come back up here and it warps me up here and we totally get to skip a side room, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's very, like Frozen mentioned, that's very similar to something like Bub's drop or the Heart Warp in 3A in the base game. And the reason that works is that when you enter that screen transition, the closest checkpoint to spawn in is actually in that upper section, and which allows you to skip a room by retrying to respawn up there.
Yeah, it's one of the funny exploits in this chapter. I'm getting a nice speed boost off of those moving platforms by doing like a wave dash, and that allows me to kind of zoom across the room, and I'm gonna do that again here. Whoop. Yeah, the vines are definitely interesting to speed around. You got to be really careful with how you jump off of them. It's very easy to just kind of fall. Something I've had to get used to. So yeah, there we go. That is the end of chapter 1. Super cute. I love also these end screens with the art by Spoopy are adorable.
They're so good.
They're so cute. Just all the detail put into this pack was really evident. It's a huge group project and they did an incredible job. So now we've got Spoopy Thicket, which I think was probably my favorite level casually, alongside chapter 4. So we've got these little bouncy mushrooms that are amazing. And I love the night theme.
And there's a neat little speed strat which gets taught to you in the B side of this level with the mushrooms, where if you dash into the side of them, if you do a horizontal dash into the side of them, you get a little speed boost too.
Yeah, you basically can do a like super off of the mushrooms, and it's really fun, and definitely going to be using that throughout the run. And we also got these like spider webs. They're basically bubbles, but you have to activate their movement. If you can just like sit in the bubbles forever if you wanted to. But obviously we want to activate them as quickly as possible because we're speedrunning this. But I really like the spider webs as a mechanic. I think they're awesome.
Another thing to note is that they don't give you your dash back like bubbles.
Yeah. Oh, as you can see, I tried to climb up that and kind of just fell. Oh, I can do this. There we go. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna just climb up instead. Like you can't, it's sometimes peculiar to climb up the vines. Yeah, the combination of the mushrooms and the spider webs make this level really fun to run. And there's a lot of situations where we can, as you can see me, kind of utilizing these corners to allow me to get up much faster and avoid using all of the entities.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of cool cycle skips in this level.
And as you can see, like just like in Old Site in the vanilla runs, you can go through spikes if you're going the same direction as them. So that's something we're going to be utilizing throughout this. So here we can just go straight up until you need to dash left to this one. Oop, I went one early. Counting is impossible. There we go.
Oh, I guess that is another thing about these webs, is that they're only one-time use.
Yep.
Unlike
They
bubbles.
will not respawn on you. I always just like, you know, hyper into rooms by habit, but there's a few rooms that are just cycle locked, so you gotta just chill a little bit. Yeah, the mushrooms are just really fun and bouncy, and also very cute with bundling. So here I'm gonna try and get all the way over here, not have to wait for it to go backwards. That worked out. Another kind of wall bounce off of the corner. And now we've got this spider. This spider can be really rude. basically it's timed, and every so often it'll come down and try and get you. So going through these rooms, you either want to outpace the spider, which is what I'm going to try and do, like in this room, for example, where it's just too slow for me. Same with this room. I'm just going to try and outpace it. And then some rooms, you just got to pay attention to exactly where the spider is and avoid where it's going to be. Like, I went a little bit the wrong direction there. Okay, I'm going to wait a cycle here.
Also, the spider is blue. Keep that in mind for later.
True. Oh, I meant to go earlier there. That's okay. That's what we want to do. Kind of get that cycle. So I'm going to try and bait the spider into missing me, which it did. There we go.
See, now the spider is purple. Well, it's actually a different spider, and this sort of marks like a halfway point in the fight. It's more of a chase section, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And the purple spider will drop down faster than the blue one does. And
you
in
have,
the B side, there's a red spider, which drops even faster than this one.
Yeah, that spider's terrifying. So here you go, doing a little plant super. And you can see I got a lot of speed and height. Allows us to kind of do this room really, really quickly. This room is one of my least favorites.
Like climbing the walls.
Oh, I was a little too far away. No! I never know what to do on Death Cycle here. Okay, we're good, we're good. You like barely make it over that spinner. It's always terrifying. Here we go.
There you go, nice.
Cycles in that level are pretty tough if you don't get entry cycle. But yeah, super cute. And the screen with the little spiders! I love them. Alright, heading into Chapter 3, Ancient Ruins. So there's a few mechanics in here that are new. Pretty much every level in this pack has like a totally new mechanic, which is pretty interesting. So this, we've got these crumble blocks that activate in sequence. In the first couple of screens, we're not going to really care about them. We can just get to the end without worrying about them. But you can see that there's like the kind of thin outline, and that's where the crumble blocks are going to reappear. And we've also got these brown lizards, which are named Sammy. And these lizards hurt.
Yeah, we have some names for the upcoming animals that we'll see in this level.
Yes.
That one's Sammy, and then later we'll see Hank, which I will not spoil what Hank is.
Yes,
yeah.
we're gonna meet some friends. So here I'm gonna try and do a reverse hyper. Ah, I missed it. I'll try it one more time. Oop. Trying to get basically an ultra to set up this cycle. And then going here, I'm lining up with a pixel in the background. No, I was holding grab.
Oh, you held grab. That is insane. If you're holding grab, you are going to snap onto these vines.
That was funny. I got the lineup and then was holding grab. But basically, you can do a reverse there off this one little pixel. And there's something else you can do here, but I'm a little low. Yeah, I'm a little low on stamina. Shoot. Alright, I'm gonna go over here. But yeah, there's a lot of corners that you can abuse in this chapter. So here's Hank! We got a little bird friend!
Hank is the bird, and you ride the bird. There's also a monkey. Shoutouts to Super Monkey Ball.
Yes, there is a monkey. So yeah, basically this bird takes us around, and it's kind of interesting because you have to jump to let go of the bird, which you would think you'd be holding grab. You're not holding grab during this. So that was definitely something I had to get accustomed to, but now I actually like it as part of the speedrun, that you just hit grab to. You hit jump to get off the bird. It makes for some pretty cool cycles with the Sammy cycles and the bird. So yeah. And
I mean, as much as we love Hank, and as much as we love birds in the Celeste community, Hank does match all the criteria as being an auto-scroller, and there are times where we can skip Hanks.
Yeah.
But not all the time.
We want to skip Hank when possible. Basically the last screen of this game, of this level, is a huge skip of the bird, and we'll showcase that, and it's pretty fancy.
Yeah, I'd like to consider that skip to just be a custom map moment.
Yeah, it's really funny. So So yeah, here's us just, you know, hanging out with the bird friends. This chapter is probably my, the one I've had to practice the most. It has a lot of just tight cycles and it took me a while to learn. Still has a lot of deaths in it from me. So here, I need to wait a little bit longer. On death cycle, Sammy's actually in a better spot and we can just hyper to the end and not have to worry about our changing blocks, which is great.
Yeah, what you were saying before, like, I definitely agree. Like, this is probably, like, one of the hardest levels in the run, if not the hardest. There's a lot to keep track of.
What I'm trying to do is dash right into this crystal, but you gotta jump pretty late, because and if you jump too late, you'll get owned by the spinner. Come on. No! Funnelin is ruining
You
me.
also have to go right away, because you don't want to have a... You don't want to boop Sammy on the nose.
Exactly. Death cycle in this room is really mean, so that's okay. Just gonna do that. No!
I think this room is just really mean in general.
It really, it's not my friend. There we go.
Pretty hard.
Stamina makes the vines also really difficult. If you jump too much on the vines, your stamina is just gonna get totally owned. Oh, I technically didn't need that bird. That's okay. This room's cycle is really fun. So you just kind of go on the side and we just completely ignore the vines by.
Yeah, the speed strat is so cool there.
Same with this room. You kind of just go diagonally into these dash crystals. That allows you to climb this really fast.
One thing that I think is pretty cool about this level is if you look in the background, you can't see it right now, but there is a temple in the background, and you'll know, if you pay attention, you actually see that it's slowly getting closer.
Yeah, I love that.
And then by the end of this level, you will be there.
Just so much detail put into like stuff like that. The style of grounds changing is just really cool. Oh, yeah. I meant to super there.
This map is really well made.
And it's meant for like intermediate players, so you know, those with like decent experience on the seasides and farewell. So if that's you, you should definitely check this out. Oh my gosh, Sammy, that was really close to me. So yeah, we just got some time with the birds and stuff, hanging out. It's great.
But yeah, you'll see Frozen like dashing around and doing a bunch of hypers and wall bounces, but none of that is required. I think that's taught in the B-sides. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm pretty sure that speed tech is utilized throughout the B-sides, but
yeah, you don't need it for any of the A-sides, so it is accessible if you're not familiar with that stuff.
Yeah, this is a great time if we have, you know, any donations or announcements, go for it.
Absolutely. We have a $10 donation from Sushi Kishi, which says, and I quote, "Welcome to the jungle. We got speedy games. We got a great runner up next. Frozenflygone is their name. We are the people who will find the berries you may need. If you've got the money, honey, donate it to Children's Cancer Research Fund."
Thank you so much for that. That was art.
That was a banger.
Yeah.
I try my best. I try my best.
So yeah, we got some like Hank transfer parts, which are really fun. Kind of dash in between, jump in between the different birds. These sections are really fun casually. We don't actually need that bird. We're just gonna do an extended hyper off the. Oh, we're gonna do an extended hyper next time off this crumble block. There we go. We can just dash to victory. Oh, I meant to up dash. And here we can just right dash. There we go. Yeah. And here we don't need this bird. We can just kind of dash at the right time there. And so this is the funny screen.
Yeah.
We don't need that bird at all, and you'll see why.
You do have to wait for these blocks.
This is a hitbox moment. Hello.
Yeah, that's what I meant by testing that moment. Because spinners can be very hard to work with their hitboxes, and right there's just a huge gap where the spinner hitbox.
I am so grateful for that gap. It makes that screen way better. All right, that was pretty solid.
Yo, now we're at the temple.
Yes.
This is probably my favorite level in the pack.
It is my favorite as well. So that was a lot of deaths, but ended up being fairly fast for me still. That level is a lot of just quick resets in screens and stuff like that. So now we're heading into the temple, which is a puzzle level, and it also has some amazing music. So basically, you see these green blocks, the green blocks go exactly one length of their size, and then we're gonna meet red blocks, which go all the way until they hit something. And this level is just an absolute joy.
A good way to actually think of them is actually how the bubbles work in the base game.
Mm-hmm.
The green ones go at a short distance, and then the bubbles ones will go until you hit a wall.
Exactly.
Hit a wall.
That's definitely what I think the authors were, you know, trying to do when they made this. So.
And if there are multiple of them, they will all trigger.
Yes.
When you dash. But there's the little flashing light in the middle, which actually tells you if they can move or not. And you will see that there's like a special refill crystal that right here, which you'll see the light will turn back on, which means the block can move again. And that's used in various puzzles throughout this level.
Yep. So I'm trying to get these crystals, move the block where I want it to be, and then get out of the room as fast as possible. Here we don't need to use the block, we can just do a hyper bunny hop. I'm gonna do an extended demo hyper here, and demo hypers are interesting in that they will count as dashing horizontally, even though I'm essentially doing a hyper, which is typically a down right. So demo hypers are a fancy thing we use in this run to help us solve these puzzles. This room's funny. Oh, I did it a little too low. I'm gonna do a corner kick off this wall to help me get over here. We don't need to solve the puzzle in that room.
Yeah, that just skips the whole puzzle.
Optimizing these puzzles is like really fun. I had a great time casually playing this level, and then this has probably been my favorite level to speedrun, honestly.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm not usually a person that loves like puzzle levels, but this one is really fun.
Same. I don't like them either. But I had a great time. And then so now we're in this big hub, which is cool.
Yeah. And well, first you have to collect all of these coins to actually open up the doors, and then these open up, and there are even more coins to collect, which will allow you to progress to the next area.
Mm-hmm. They're all like little mini puzzles, and so I've just like, you know, memorized the solutions basically. Oh, I need to dash right for that one. Getting around this hub is funny.
Some of these are easier than others. Like this one, I'd say is like one of the harder puzzles.
This one perplexed me, yeah.
And then this next one you'll see is extremely easy. You literally dash right, then dash left.
Yep. You just learn that you can stop the blocks like in the middle of their path, which you use later on in the level. And so yeah, we've solved all of the puzzles in the hub room, and then we're gonna go to like the next part of the level. I'm gonna death warp because that makes this go down faster than waiting for it. Here we use the like, you can smash the blocks together technique we learned in that puzzle I was talking about. And we have a few more puzzles to go until like this really cool section is coming. I meant to break that. So it's just like an extension of the concept we've seen before with the green and red blocks. Oh, I wanted to go zoomy. That's okay. Alright, so now we've got the escape sequence from, like, Indiana Jones with the rolling ball. I love this section. This section's really fun to speedrun, and just was really fun casually.
Yeah, the section is, like, super fast-paced. There's, like, lots of room to get, like, to, like, hyper all over the place and get ultras, which makes it really fun.
Yeah, it's great. I would be, like, I had a hard time thinking about how I would do this without speed tech, because it's just so tempting to go zoomy everywhere.
Oh, yeah. I definitely use speed tech in my casual play. There's a secret passage up there, but I did the dashes wrong, so I'm just gonna go normally. This room, you can only dash diagonally, which is funny. Yeah, it has a pretty interesting gimmick. It uses that crystal that we were using before, because if that crystal gets destroyed at any point, it actually kills Madeline. And so what it does is it makes it so that if you dash horizontally or vertically, it actually crushes the crystal and kills you, so you can only dash diagonally in that room.
I really liked that room. I thought it was really interesting. As speedrunners, it literally does not affect us because hypers are diagonal dashes.
Yeah, well, as long as you remember, don't do it any demo hypers.
Yeah. So yeah, that's such a fun chapter. That was a really solid time for me as well. 4:30 is really nice. Very, very fun. And now we have another amazing section. So Madeline was falling, and so now we have to climb out of this like gap And I have no idea how they constructed this. It is so freaking cool. So basically what's happening is that you've got this like wind kind of, and every time you see a red block, that's the checkpoint. So I'm basically trying to get to the red blocks as quickly as possible because that's going to ensure that I'm not going to get set back a ton of progress. And so I'm trying to climb and use my dashes efficiently. This is definitely a section I could optimize more because it's just hard to, it's just so different from normal Celeste movement, but it's really fun. Really fun.
Yeah, this section is super hard to optimize. Also, there's more boulders falling, and those will kill you if you touch them.
Yeah, the spike, you gotta avoid the spikes and avoid the boulders that we saw in the previous chapter. But when I played this for the first time casually, I was like, wow, this is like unlike anything I've ever played before. And it's really cool.
It's so cool.
Oh, I can just go straight up. Okay. The hard part of this is knowing what's coming next. A lot of times you can't see things until you're moving. And so it's definitely I gotta memorize, you know, where I'm going in a lot of these situations. And the music in this is just fantastic as well. No! Oh, boulder moment. I was doing good. I needed to have normal climb instead of go to the other side.
There was one moment where I got a little nervous there. I doubt anybody else noticed it, early, especially if you haven't played the map. But there was one part where she got very close to reaching the death plane at the bottom.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, there's a point where the camera, you'll just get camera'd and you'll die.
Yeah. And now, in this level, we have these, like, mossy walls, which essentially don't allow you to grab them. They're the same as, like, the ice walls in the base game. They're just reskinned. And yeah, that just makes it so you can't grab those walls. But luckily, we have neutral jumping, which allows us to do exactly what these walls are trying to prevent, which is climb walls while not grabbing.
Stop neutraling up my walls! I will not. I simply will not.
I will neutral up your walls.
Yeah, this is the final level in the pack. And we, again, have some pretty cool new mechanics coming up. So we have the mossy walls that we talked about, and there's going to be some other stuff coming up as well. But this level gets lighter and lighter as you go through it, which I think is like a beautiful aesthetic choice. We got the return of
also, we'll be seeing here.
Y'all, yeah.
The level introduces lanterns, which Frozen will actually do a skip here. Skip's having to grab that lantern and backtrack. But what these lanterns do is they actually make the moss disappear on the walls, and also makes the spikes on those like viney, spiky walls go away. Which allows you to progress. Also, there are snakes now in this level.
Hi, snakes.
And also, the snakes are also afraid of the light, so they will run away from it. Because usually they'll actually like go towards you and try to attack you if you're on the ground.
There we go. Nice demo through there. So yeah, I'm gonna try and be using the lantern as least as possible because when you have the lantern, you can't dash, and that makes things slow. So I'm pretty much gonna only use the lantern when I'm like required to in certain situations.
I think in this room actually though. Now, here's a contradiction to what you just said. I think in this room it actually is faster to use the lantern than a lot of it.
Yes.
Because some of the areas where you don't use the lantern are just really tight.
Exactly.
Or if you tried to not use the lantern, like you could get past it, but it's really tight, so it's not really worth it. And it's also slow.
Exactly. I don't actually know how to do this room normally. I only know how to do this strat. Basically what I'm doing is a hyper bunny hop into an upright demo to get me through here, and it's a pretty precise trick. There we go. But I've literally forgotten how to do that room normally, so I just do it till I get it. Here we're just gonna like, what I'm gonna try and do is do an extended hyper with enough momentum, grab this dash crystal and do a neutral, and that's gonna allow me to get over here. It's a little bit tight because of that spinner. Yeah,
you really gotta extend your dash on this one.
Oh, okay. I was close. No. Dang it. I would need to do the neutral a little bit smaller. There we go.
There you go.
That room's
nice.
hard. see if I can get up here. Oh, I had it and I jumped away. No.
This is a pretty tight dash. I think it's probably pretty close to frame perfect. It's like the max height that Madeline can jump and dash up.
Yep.
To. You gotta jump at the apex of your jump and then make it up there. It's pretty tight.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of skips that are like pretty tight in this chapter, but they're fun, so it's worth going for. Here we don't even need to grab the lantern. We can just do an extension, which is great.
Yeah, that's a great skip.
Oh, I screwed that up. So if I come into this with momentum, I can hold the grab button. No, come back. I can hold the grab button and dash up, and that allows me to kind of do this, which typically you can't dash when you're holding the lantern. Kind of a interesting gimmick.
And here you can just skip the lantern.
Yep.
That's a pretty precise super, which you nailed first try.
Ooh, yeah,
Easy
that
for
super can be
frozenflygone.
hard. Because you have to get your, you have to get your extension, which means, you know, you need to be on the block a certain distance, but then if you're too far to the right, the spinner will get you. This strat's really fun. Basically gonna do a timed wall bounce, and that's gonna fling us to the end of this room. And I'm using the spinners to guide me. There we go.
There's a string of pretty cool strats here.
Alright, everyone. Kami, you want to tell
Here
them
we
what this is?
So this is Bergie Bounce. We call it that. And what you do is you dash down to get the block there, and then you wall bounce off it and get momentum, which brings you all the way to the end of the room, which allows you to solve like a whole puzzle on that screen.
Yeah, you usually have to get 2 lanterns, but instead we will Bergie bounce. So can we get some Bergies in the chat?
There is a little bit of lore to that strat. Frozen was mid-run and was talking about how much she hated the old strat there. And so I labbed out a strat while she was running.
Yeah.
And she learned it on the spot.
Yep. That's how open it is. It's really not that hard.
Yeah,
it's great.
And it is way easier and way faster than that strat. And so we called it
Bergie Bounce. I'm glad we can showcase Bergie Bounce here, where the Celeste community was introduced to Bergie at Mid-Spring Speed Swing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So yeah, this is like the conclusion of the pack. We're basically climbing out. Everything's getting lighter. The music is getting triumphant. Seeing a recap of all the previous mechanics. And then we're gonna see something pretty familiar. Any vanilla runners in the chat? It's Awake! I'm not good at Awake.
They just got Awake from the end of sight.
Yeah.
2A.
No! Except with a little bit of... There's actually damage here, but...
Yeah, there's like, in this screen specifically, there's like a slight difference in like the tiles, but like, that's it. And also time's coming up.
I missed.
Good thing you reached
time.
Because that is time.
Yeah, I forgot the time was coming up, so good thing I missed the cutscene skip.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Into the Jungle, and my mood is exactly what Madeline is feeling right now. But yeah, Into the Jungle is amazing. Highly recommend you play it because it's a really beautiful pack. All of the detail and everything is just fantastic. So thank you all so much for watching and donating to this awesome marathon and cause. The Midwest crew has always been so welcoming and inviting ever since, you know, I joined running Eat Roll this time ago. And so I really appreciate everyone who's made this marathon happen and for inviting me again to play some more Celeste stuff.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. And if I may add at the end here, some people were excited to see your run as well. So we had an anonymous $25 donation saying, spiders are vertical Oshiro, changed my mind. And we also had a $100 donation from Anonymous as well saying, go Flygon, excited to see your run.
Aw, thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Comet, for being here on short notice, because I forgot to ask you in advance. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I literally added Comet in the chat, like, you ready to set up? And he's like, you didn't ask me. And I was like, well, can you? And he said yes, so I'm very grateful. I appreciate you. But yeah, that's all from us, and enjoy the rest of the marathon.
All right. right, awesome. Thank you so much for that run, Frozen. Everyone stick around, get your stretches in, get